How's it going, everyone? Come on to there. Peace and blessings. Hope you all had a peaceful weekend and was able to relax, spend some time with your family and friends, make some new memories, enjoy some moments. I like to put positive vibes out into the universe. I'm Aaron Glenn, team member of Team Angie, CEO and creator as well. Also, I like to advocate for mental health awareness, all about mindset, getting the mind right, getting the life right, and enjoying life all in the same time. I like to put positive vibes out into the universe, and by doing so, I read daily on my channel. I read from my book of inspiration, written by Sarah Young. This book is called Enjoying Peace in His Presence, Jesus Calling. And I like to read from this book because there is a positive word for each day of the year. I just played a little clip that was just a little bit from a video I did yesterday, actually. It was a really good video. It is a really good video. I encourage you all to go check it out. It's a live that I just did. Same title and everything, not as this, but my previous live, the two previous ones. You will hear me say the date as well. It's titled The Power of Words. Those are the two. The first one actually is the one you want to see for the full clip. But anyway, nevertheless, today is September 29th, 2025, and this is the reading for today for you guys looking for a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'm all about positive vibes, all about motivation, education. And on my channel, we get into a lot of different type of stuff, but nevertheless, it's all about spirituality and enjoying peace in God's presence, hearing God's calling, in tune with the universe, if you might say, if that's what you guys call it. But this is how I find my way, spending time enjoying peace in God's presence. And by doing so, I read His Word, and I just align my mind with His Word and see, what thoughts of mine is not in line with God's Word, so that I can renew my mind and not become just like this world, which is a fallen place. So that's how I protect my peace and energy, by just spending time with Christ. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm meditating outside, reading my Bible, my inspirational book, and just reflect on the words that I hear, and just really take accountability of my life and where I'm at and where I'm trying to go. But nevertheless, this is a positive word for you all for the Monday, September the 29th of 2025. I'll just share my screen with you all, not my screen, but my book, and we could just read together. I am with you and all around you, encircling you in golden rays of light. I always behold your face. I always behold you face to face, not if your thoughts escape my notice. So I'm reading actually by looking at it, but okay. Hopefully you guys can keep. Now one of your thoughts escaped my notice, because I am infinite. I am able to love you as if I were you and I were the only ones in the universe. Let me do this different. You just got to look at me while I read, because I'm kind of confused on it like this. I'm gonna start over really quick and just go through it, and then I'll show y'all what I'm reading. Yeah, that's all right. I am with you always and around you, encircling you in golden rays of light. I always behold you face to face. Not one of your thoughts escape my notice, because I am infinite. I am able to love you as if you and I were the only ones in the universe. Walk with me in intimate love steps, but do not lose sight of my majesty. I desire to be your closest friend, yet I am also your sovereign Lord. I created your brain with the capacity to know me as a friend, Lord, and simultaneously. The human mind is the pinnacle of my creation. but so few use it for its primary purpose, knowing me. I communicate continually through my spirit, my word, and my creation. Only humans are capable of receiving me in their presence. You are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made. And that word was inspired from the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verses 4 through 7. Also, Second Peter, the book of Second Peter, chapter 1, verse 16 through 17. The book of John, chapter 17, verse 3. And last but never the least, this word of today, 2025, September the 29th, was inspired by the book of Psalms 100, chapter 139, verse 14. So this is the word for today. Not sure why the bottom of my camera looks like smudge like that. I don't really like how it's looking. I'm trying to. I guess that did it a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, that's the reading for today. This is the book that I read from. I have little notes and stuff in there. This book is falling apart. I seen some glue. I'm gonna try to glue it back in together. Still holding on. It's holding on. I had this book for a few years now, since the pandemic. I have a lot of books actually. I like to read. I like to study. My father written a book just last year. Uh, he released it on 4/20, 2024. So he just had his year anniversary this year of his book release, and he's working on another one. Yeah, that copy is called Evidence Clearly Seen. It's pretty dope. It's about similar to what I'm talking about now. It's science. It's basically science-based faith. So a lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people like to debate, but this is all facts about why God is real and stuff like that. So that's what that book is about. Evidence Clearly Seen. And yeah, next month, in a couple days, literally 2 more days, open book October. We're going to be reading from these books, and also we're going to be just doing our story times all October. Stories of my life, spooky, scary, exciting, or whatever. And also just stories that relate to Team Angie, where we going and where we trying to be. I'll be reading from the book I just told you guys, and also this book here. So we'll do a chapter a day, a page a day, however it goes. I don't know. From this, we're going to do a page a day, but from the other book, that's what I'm not sure about. But nevertheless, we're going to be showing you guys how to make money online, free webinar. Make sure you hit the link in the bio. But I didn't put it in there. That's for free crypto. So this is my gift to y'all. If y'all looking to make money online, you want to get a couple dollars today, start your week, start your portfolio. That's what's in the description for you guys. I got a gift for you all. You're trying to make money online, you get started today. All you have to do is verify that you're a human being. And that's my gift. You get $5 worth of stock. You get to pick whichever one you want. And then I'll show you guys how to level up that profile. If you're looking to make money off the market, I got multiple streams of income. I do money making activities, and that's all I do. I have, my bad, I'm just looking at my beautiful creations. I garden as well. I do a lot of things that's basically for mental health and peace of mind. Besides money making activities, I do like mental health activities like gardening, drawing, and different stuff like that, which is also a money making activity, but not as well. Not really, because I do it for peace of mind, but I could make money off of it. And I do from time to time. But it's not what I do for money. It's just what I do for peace of mind, and I enjoy it. And I thank God that it's a situation that I can have peace. It's like turning your passions into profit. So that's exactly what it is. I'm just doing the things I love, and I'm able to make money from it. And I thank God for the situation. Um, it isn't easy to be in this position. It took a moment to get in this position, to put myself in position. It took a lot of action. It was a lot of days that I felt like giving up. A lot of moments that were uncertain if, was this the right thing? A lot of questionable times where if I was dealing with the right people or not, but it's uncertain. God gives us visions in parts. And what you have to do is just have faith that this vision is for you and that it's going to come to pass. And you just keep going and you keep going. No matter what people think, no matter what people say, no matter what people do, no matter how you feel. Because you're going to feel like giving up on your own self. But that's not going to help you. Feelings are all right. They're important on your journey, but they're not the final chapter. It's not the end result. Because someone make you mad, that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your life. It's not the end of the day. That's why I advocate for mental health awareness, because if you're not aware of how these emotions can affect you, if you're not aware of how to be intelligent, how to deal with certain emotions that can affect you in a positive or negative way. And I just encourage people to take one extra moment to think about what they're feeling, and really, really think about it before you react on it. You don't have to really think twice about if something excites you, you're going to be happy. You're going to express joy. You're not going to be ecstatic. You're going to be excited, whatever, right? Different expressions of joy, which could be a good thing. I don't really see nothing wrong with that. But on the reverse side, right? Somebody make you mad, somebody irritate you, whatever. You could easily clap back at them, strike at them, mold them, scold them, talk your ish. Or you could just give it a moment to think, like, is this something I need to respond to? Is this somebody who's really just, ain't got no mind, ain't got no common sense? Is they ignorant? And that's what was important, because that's not an unwelcoming feeling. But with those unwelcoming feelings, you could easily pop off and react to it. Somebody made me mad, I'm on the rah rah type shit. But what do you get from that? What do you gain except for a broken bone, bodies, or fucking in jail? If not unalive. Those are three things that's very unwelcoming, other than the feeling that you just had that you didn't welcome and didn't like. But if you don't take a moment and recognize what's going to come from this, then you're going to be regretting not having the power to take a moment. So that's what emotional intelligence is, like, feeling something but not allowing that feeling to be all that you are. People piss me off constantly every day, but that ain't who I am. Some angry nigga who just rah back to a motherfucker who ignorant, or who decide to be used by ignorance. Or some people not even aware that they might be making you mad or whatever. I don't know. People do as they please. Not everybody has common sense. Not everybody aware to have common sense of what's going on. But it's about having power and control. Power over your emotions, control over the way that you react to them. Because it's only you at the end of the day, right? People could provoke you all day long, but what you respond to is about you. This is the powerful tool that I use to help me be aware of these things, and also to have the Holy Spirit to guide me and use me from time to time. Because sometimes it ain't me how I get through things, it's the Holy Spirit using me. I don't like to be allowed to be used by any other type of spirits or energies but the Holy Spirit through Christ Jesus. So I see people all the time like, oh, I didn't know I did that, because they're used by demonic spirits and energies. I don't accept that type of behavior. Be accountable or deal with your consequences, whatever that may be. But I allow God to fight my battles. I give it up to Him. That's why He uses me. That's why I allow the Holy Spirit to use me. I'm filled with it, because that's God fighting my battles. That's emotional intelligence as well. People gonna try you all the time. It's a battle of the mind. If you really, really Think about it, because your thoughts are intrusive. Your thoughts are always constantly bombarded with things that you like, that you want to entertain, or vice versa. Things that you don't like, things that you don't want to entertain. But nevertheless, these are things that weigh on your mind time and time again, day in and day out, sometimes constantly throughout the day. I had this video I want to share. I couldn't find it, but it was basically about, like, the gifts that God has for you. If you're somebody who's going to speak the truth, you're going to have a lot of times where your message can't get out. You're going to have a lot of times where people try to shut you. You're going to have a lot of situations where they're going to want to use your voice for blasphemy, for cursing, for a lot of negative energies, for a lot of nonsense, right? If you're a person who are a visionary, you are creative, right? You're going to have a lot of problems where it seems like you're unsure of yourself. You doubt destiny, because that's the devil trying to stop you from being the one who put things together. If you're a type of person who just afraid to try new things, you're a type of person who's gonna be an innovator to change the world in subtle ways. That just be the enemy. That be that self-talk. It's always those thoughts in the mind to tell you, like, yeah, you're not ready, or you're just so distracted to where you don't really want to take action. You're constantly thinking about all these things. I'm gonna find that clip and I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to put a video together. But that's the thing, right? My message, what I was made for in life was to speak truth. So I had these problems time and time again. It's like when I'm putting videos together, the video want to load slow, the Wi-Fi want to fuck up. Here comes somebody want to tell me some dumb shit, or here comes somebody need my help with some shit, or you know what I'm saying? All type of bullshit, right? Any and everything to stop me from putting out the messages. And it's like, damn, it's really irritating. It's annoying, but it's like, shit, you got to speak your truth. You got to get them messages out. And it's like, the more you do it, the more people be helped. Just like Jesus came, was putting that message out, kept putting the message out. He initially died by putting the message out, for putting the message out. That was his adversity. Haters gonna come, people try to stop your mission, but it's gonna get done nevertheless. You can only imagine the other things that he dealt with by trying to put his message out that they didn't even record. But we all know he was crucified for speaking the truth. And that's just what it is. Like, when you're trying to do your stuff, you're going to have adversity. But it's up to you to choose to give up and just be defeated in life, or to complete your mission. That's why I always say the marathon continues, like Nipsey Hussle, because it's more than just a race. It's a life purpose. And the marathon was about, back in the days, if you was in some type of embassy, any type of regime, any type of royalty, right? Any type of kingdom, they got places. Everybody know their places in this kingdom. Whether you're a servant, whether you're a messenger, whether you're a general, admiral, somebody who's leading war, whatever, right? Everybody has their place. Everybody has their purpose, and everybody knows their place and purpose. So why I said that is to say this. The marathon started with the messenger. When they went to battle, the marathon was about the messenger making sure he get there to the king to tell him no matter what, if they won or lost. No matter how far away they was, no matter, the terrains, the stuff that's going on, your journey is to come tell me what happened. So the messenger was on his way to tell the king that, y'all, we just won this battle. And as soon as he got there, he died. He did his life journey. He completed his life purpose. He ran that marathon to tell the king the truth of what just happened, And he didn't stop running until he got there, said what he said, and he dropped dead right after that. That's true commitment. That's true dedication. That's true purpose. And that's living out your purpose. The problem with purpose nowadays, and why people don't know what their purpose is, because they're so focused, too busy, too distracted on the next person, and not getting to know yourself. That's why everybody's in the world It's so busy competing because nobody's happy with themselves because nobody knows themselves. Everybody's scared to spend a little time to take time to get to know who they are. And not everybody has courage to get to know themselves and work on themselves. That's why the world is in such disarray. Only way that you can know your mission is by knowing yourself and knowing what you are here for. You will never get to know that by chasing behind the crowd and worrying about the latest gossip and whatever this and that. Just like I say with these kingdoms, there's levels to this, just like it's levels to success. And worrying about what the next person's success looks like and how you supposed to compare and compete to them is the distraction of the world. It's all tied into consumerism. I'm not saying don't be happy, don't be successful. I'm just saying, like, before you start that journey, make sure that's something that's going to really fulfill you in life. A lot of people start that successful journey, they start their careers, and at the end of the day, the whole reason why they're doing it was just to compare or compete with somebody else. And then at the end of the day, they're not happy, not fulfilled. Now back to the marathon continues. You got to be happy knowing what you do matters. Even if you finna just run to the end of your breath, the end of your life to tell the king, yeah, we won the battle. That's being unbothered like a motherfucker. That's being happy with who you are and being content with what you do and knowing that what you do is enough. Just like a little bitty ant. Who knows how long their life cycle is, but they're not worried about the shit that we doing. They out here doing their things. That's their purpose in life. Just like a bird too. A bird don't worry about what they finna put on. They don't worry about nothing at all. Like, we be so bombarded by this system. This system keeps us in doubt, keeps us in worry, keeps us busy. A lot of the free shit that we could be using that we need, they found a way to distract us and disturb us and take away our critical thinking to where we don't even know what's right or wrong anymore. Just like we could look at violence on the TV screen, on all of these entertainment apps, and just like, oh, it ain't nothing, right? So dehumanized to violence and to suffering of mankind is really ridiculous. We sell wood, but we got plenty of trees out here that we all could be planting. Plenty of water in the lakes and the rivers that we could be cleaning up to drink. Like, a lot of shit that don't make sense, right? But it is the way that the world is going, right? Because it makes sense. Or because nobody likes to really think for themselves. Nobody, but that's for another day. Starting to go a little bit negative, but it's what you choose to focus on. Once you're aware of these things, you can't turn the awareness off. It's just you see it, what life is for what it is, what people is for what they are. And it just is what it is, right? Like, once you know your colors, can't nobody tell you nothing different. You know the color green, verde, blue, azul. It's like you can't fucking tell nobody nothing different, right? You just know. But this world is such a fallen place that we don't even know what right from wrong anymore. You gotta debate somebody the color of their colors. It's so, it's just toxic, right? That's what this world has come to. Everybody's so opinionated, nobody knows anything, though. And you can't debate with anybody because they're so sensitive that, oh, well, you hurt my feelings because you have a different point of view. That's what's wrong with the world nowadays. Everybody's so sensitive, everybody's so secretive, so zesty, then a motherfucker caught in their feelings that you can't really speak on shit. That's what this whole rainbow community thing about. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. The shit ridiculous, dog. Like, if you can't be a fucking real human being, then you need to be up out the way. If a motherfucker can't say nothing about you doing wrong and we supposed to speak on injustice, we supposed to speak on anything that's not right. Anybody who partaking in anything that's unright, they of course don't want you to say anything about it, and it's just a prime example. But the world is so blind to the shit nowadays that they're like, oh, you can't speak on certain things because certain people get offended. But the truth is, and the truth will always come to the light. Whether you guys want to be comforted by lies, it's only going to go on for so long, you know. And no matter, I don't do anything out of love. The truth will hurt your feelings because the truth hurts from time to time, but it's a way to be done. So it's just about, you know, being honest and living an authentic life, not conforming to this world because they so sensitive because of the sins they commit in secrecy. And you know, honestly, I don't give a fuck who feelings I hurt. If you out here doing wrong, you doing wrong, you know, and it is what it is. I don't give a fuck about what laws or what communities protect your little feelings. It's time to be accountable, you know, and it just is what it is. My hand looked like a rainbow going past. It's pretty dope. Different color rays. Okay, yeah. That's just that my aura, my high vibrations. I like that though. I never really seen that before. I'm like a fucking walking rainbow. But that shit dope though. But a lot of people walking in darkness though, and they think that nobody knows. If the whole world shut down, you can't feel certain people because they so full of darkness. And certain people you'll feel no matter if the world shut down or not. That aura is no lie. That energy is no lie. You could always manipulate to somebody, you know, your intentions, but at the end of the day, it always comes out. So it's like if you living in fucking fear, if you living in secrecy, you wasting your life. You like a tree that bears no fruit. And eventually you'll be cut down. It's like you just draining up the rest of the resources from the world. That's why Jesus was like, this is supposed to be an apple tree and it doesn't have any fruit. He struck it down. Because like, you're a waste of space. And that's how a lot of people in this world is, a waste of space. Draining good energy from a lot of things that needs to be producing fruit. So when you're doing what you're supposed to do in life, you be fruitful and it be more fruitful unto the world. Like a whole tree, right? What's dope about the situation is that you not only have a solid foundation where you're grounded, a solid foundation you grounded to the world, but not only than that, have multiple branches coming out, multiple, multiple strands of fruit, multiple opportunities to do the same thing, different places, different areas, even in the same. But now that one situation just multiplied 10 times. That's how it is with knowledge, with certain actions, activities, get multiplied. But when I kind of like that, steady seeing those colors. When it don't make sense, it don't make sense, and it dries up everything. It becomes barren, don't produce fruit, dries up everything, and it's a waste of everything's time and energy and efforts, and it get ripped out and tossed away, get burned. Just like I just heard about what's it called? Uh, damn, it's a little festival they do. I think it's the Irish or something like that. It's basically Halloween before Halloween, and then it's about winter time. They burn some type of old man to signify or symbolizes the end of winter. So I believe this is like around the beginning of the year type of thing, around February where they do this stuff. And that's how you do with old things that don't produce fruit. You burn it and you toss it away, or produce anything in life, right? So that's kind of what it is when they tossing away the winter because everything is dead and it's not producing anything, and it's a celebration. They're celebrating because now the seasons change and it's starting to birth. It's starting to produce, bring fruit, right? It's starting to be fruitful time of year. So that's symbolic to what I'm talking about. And saying I'm gonna have to look up the thing. I look at Dougie. He be telling all these stories, but before he did, I heard about this stuff. Like I don't celebrate holidays really. You know, I could care less about none of the shit. So I'm really not into it like that. So I don't really know too much because I don't celebrate the shit myself. But I do hear about these things and I know about them just a little bit. You know, I don't really spend a whole lot of time and energy celebrating these things because life is a gift itself. A lot of people wait for one specific time to be happy with life. And to me, that's foolish. But I mean, celebrate what you celebrate. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I don't partake in the shit. So that's why I don't really know. But I am aware of what be going on. You know, I'm not fucking dumbfounded to shit. That just because I don't fuck with it don't mean I don't know. But yeah, it's some Irish type shit, I believe. I don't really know how to pronounce the name or what it really means. It was a festival just happened this year too, actually. And they start figuring out the truth of what they be doing in these festivals. They was having like little sacrifices and shit. Somebody fell off a carpet or off a table and he passed away. They was like, what's really going on? I'm pretty sure y'all done heard about it. If not, then yeah, it's been in the news. Like this year has been a rodeo. It's been one circus act after the next. Starting with the beginning of the year when the Pope was opening those doors, opening these portals, and then last year when they had the not they had, but the world had this solar eclipse. Really, since then, shit been weird and crazy. But I mean, this year alone has been mudslides. We slid into 2025 with mudslides from over there in Bangladesh, over there in Asia, whatever. It's been crazy. And then we had these little what they call the plaques that happened. They was up in the water and stuff like that. It's so much stuff, you know. I don't keep track of what all the stuff going on, but I know for a fact it's more stuff that's finna go on. I say beware October 10th. I think something is going to hit the news. It's going to be a big thing in history, maybe. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I do a little conspiracy stuff myself, right? And I believe some of the stuff. You know, some of the stuff be true, some of the stuff just be a distraction. But nevertheless, like it don't mean don't check into it. I do my own investigations. But with the whole Erica Kirk type stuff, because I don't care about the girl, I never knew about the girl, but you know, they throw the shit in our face so much it's like you don't have no choice but to be hearing about the shit. Anyway, like, you know, to me is like they've been doing this stuff. They know what's going on, and these people they playing 10 years at a time. They think further ahead than a lot of people. I respect that. I like that. But anyway, in one of her old music videos, not her music video, but she in a music video, and it's real symbolic. She riding through I think there's Tennessee or Vegas somewhere. I never been to Vegas before. I don't really be in all these places anyway, you know. I think it's in Vegas though, Las Vegas, Nevada, where she on a you know those little stringy ropes and you sliding through or whatever. She on one of those, and if you pause, she going past Fremont, and then on the like right above her to the left and to the right, it say 9:10 and then 10:10. The day that Kirk passed away, September the 10th, and that's why I got that 10:10 from because I'm like I wonder what's gonna happen on October the 10th. That's why I was like, yeah, check it out, cause something might go on. And then under that Fremont, which means Mountain of Freedom or whatever like that, dude Charlie had the freedom. He had freedom across his shirt. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of suspicious, knowing that they all into this symbolics, signs and symbols, right? You know, it's just like people who game bang. They gonna make sure they throw their setup. They gonna throw their signs up. These people are no different. They're gonna make sure they put these signs and symbols into their videos and movies and everything else. I don't even know what I'm talking about all this stuff, but anyway, happy Monday. Make sure you check that link out in the description because that's where you get your free $5 worth of stocks. Right now, I'm just creating content, talking my shit because I ain't get to read my book for it today. I just played the remix, kind of like just trying to figure some stuff out. My favorite show come on today. It's on Ion. That's the name of it. Ion. It's on. That's what it stands for on Tubi. From the watch from Chicago PD and then Chicago Fire. That should be good. I like it. It's a peace of mind to me. I don't really watch too much TV or do nothing like that. But shit, when I can, I like to enjoy it. You feel me? Like shit. I usually be doing research, putting down information, gathering data, analyzing, and that take a long time. Especially when the internet be going slow or just the connection, a whole bunch of goofy, silly shit that test your patience. Like I deal with that type of shit with creating content. It's been more so present the last few months. They are building houses around here, and I don't know if that got something to do with the internet connection or whatever, but it's just a lot of shit. This year ain't been as hot as last year. I mean, last year was alright too. You had your moments. Only reason I'm saying that is because I had grew last year and the sun burnt my shit up. It was like last year the sun was on some weird stuff. That's all I know. Like if you know, you know. If you be outside paying attention to shit, you'll see some changes going on outside. But anyway, out of both two of my plants, one of them was like if I just had UV lights on that motherfucker burning it. And this is the sun I'm talking about that did this to my plants. It just burned the shit so bad. Like if I put it in the microwave and forgot about it. So that's what I noticed last year about the sun. This year that didn't happen. So I don't know what was going on last year because I was like I did the same thing this year, but this year it was like the weather was. As far as the sun, I didn't have no problems, but the wind, the raining, and all this, this the what they call it, trailing, when they trail in the skies with the clouds. I mean, cloud seeding or whatever. I believe that was the case this year because it was like out of 5 plants, one of them made it. They didn't have any problems with the sun, nothing at all. But all this extra weird shit like the fucking rain coming down hard, wind blowing like 90 miles an hour. It was like really, really hard. The conditions around it was just unbearable. And then one of them was on me when I was transplanting. I was kind of like not really careful or not. But it's been crazy, Joe. Like, the marathon continues because if I had known that I was only going to get one, I would have still did it. I would have took more time and put more out. Especially like last year, but you don't know what's going to happen in this world. You just adjust to the changes. Just like if I knew last year the sun was going to be extra hot, and it wasn't like the shit burning me up. Like you had some hot days, ain't gonna cap. Like this year, you had some hot days, but it wasn't hot to the point where you can't go in the house and chill for a bit. The way that they did it this year was like instead of spending money on relaxation, everybody air conditioner was going out. And I know we had that problem a few times this year. And I'm thinking like, wow, we suffering because our shit went out, whatever, right? But as I go to the store, the locals, everybody having the same situation. So I'm like, it's not just us. Like they're hitting us with a new tactic. So it's just about being mindful of what's going on, so you don't fall into these traps. And also so you have the power to fend for yourself, especially if you know what's going on. That's why I was like, October 10th, be prepared, keep your eyes peeled because they're switching up the tactics. And to have us foolishly thinking that we could ever be on these people level as far as success, like content creators, actors, singers, politicians, everything, all industries the same. If you're not with this secret group, you're not going to have that secret success, And to be foolish and think that we are all equals and that we all have that opportunity, if you work hard, you get, that's a fucking lie. That's the American dream. You dream if you really think that far, far into a sleep. But to be conscious is to be awake. To be awake is to be alive, to be aware. Be aware of these games these people playing, because we're going to lose every time if you fall into that trap thinking that we're on an equal playing field. Just like cigarettes is legal, but at one time weed wasn't. Cigarettes have so many chemicals and stuff in there, they could kill you for free and legally, but meanwhile, you dabble in a little bit of narcotics, a little bit of reefer that you can grow from the ground, little coca plants, it's a sin. You get 20 years, you get all these years behind bars when the same shit is going on, like it's a mindset. When you think about it, like, who make these rules, right? Do this shit even make sense? It don't. But yet and still is what's going on, right? You'll think like, oh, if I just work, nah, it's not that at all. How can you kill somebody legally by giving them all this poison? But when somebody has something they're trying to do that's not really killing people, like Dr. Say be curing certain things, and now he's unalive, and other people help him with certain information, and they're, like it goes on and on, right? It's no conspiracy that what it is. And I just said that to say this, like, to be aware of what's going on and know who the, I wanted to say know who the enemy is, but just know who's in control of what's going on in this world. This world is not our eternal home. And to be conforming to this world, to try to get the benefits of this world, is the wrong way to be. It's the wrong mission. It's the wrong direction to be headed. Just thinking like, man, the people who passed away already and God called home, they're the lucky ones. But they've done all their suffering. And it's like, to succeed on earth is to fail in heaven. That's how I look at it, though. Like, a lot of people like, oh, these pastors say this, they say do that. But when you start going against the grain, going in the other way, you're going to find yourself selling out. It's just my opinion. None of us were meant to live a really, really, comfortable life here. That's just my opinion. It sounds sad, doesn't it? I've been suffering a long time, but I have good moments throughout it all. But at the end of the day, I've come to a conclusion that it's just what it is. You're going to pick a side. You want to succeed, then you're going to have to. It is what it is. And you can't wake people up just because I learned some new information. I want to go share it for the world. That's the suck part about it too. Like, not everybody gonna be woke. It's like the world sleeping in darkness. The world is not used to any noise. You come full of light, really loud, you're gonna disrupt people, no matter if you're really trying to or not. But that's the scenario it is. Just because you're enlightened and you're awoke doesn't mean that your enlightenment or your awokeness is going to affect people in a positive way. So that's how you got to look at the world too. Just because you know some shit now that you really want to share with everybody, you got to remind yourself that you might be the light coming into a dark room where people have been sleeping in darkness for years, and your light is going to disrupt their comfortability. And that's just what it is. So with that being said, take this as a grain of salt. Whatever works for you, apply it. Whatever don't, let it slide. That's the same way that I do with any and everything. Not everything is for me. Not everybody is going to be your friend. Not everybody will understand you. Not everybody is going to embark on your journey in life. But that doesn't mean never get started and never be on your way. Peace and blessings to those of you who are hearers and doers of the word, and also action takers, entrepreneurs, self-starters, those of you who are inspiring entrepreneurs who want to start making money online. Grab your free blueprint copy. If you're just looking to make some money today, that's what the link in the description is about. But nevertheless, happy Monday. Peace and blessings from Team Angie. This next month, I'll be open book. October, we're going to be doing straight story time. So I encourage you all to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you can be updated with the latest and every story that we drop for the whole month of October, that you can be there front and center and seeing what it's all about. But nevertheless, peace and blessings. And also my birthday is coming up October 28th, so I look forward to and celebrating with you all. Happy Monday. Peace and blessings.